Hey, TPL.
What's up, buddy?
How's Anthem?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 221 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We are coming to you in a post-Season of Dawn release world. And boy, oh boy, have we done some things in the world of Destiny 2 this week. Going to be taking a lot of time to talk about the Season of Dawn, some of the new content we've had some time to get into, the reward systems, more about PvP, because good Lord, does everyone have an opinion about PvP right now? That definitely seems to be the talk of the town. So we're going to get some time to dive on into that. And for the first time in seemingly forever, we've got a full house. Everyone's here tonight. We've got the shadow of Dredgen Nim, because wearing a hoodie in a brightly lit room is a good idea. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's just chilly, so
yeah, it's
that, and hair's a disaster, so a hoodie would just remedy that.
Is it chilly or is it Drifter now?
Did I lost you, Aura?
What?
That was
you don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
When the God, I don't, what is it? The Eviscerary is like, hello, Dredgen, and it's like, it's Drifter now. You know what I mean?
Drifter now,
yeah, dude, it's Drifter now, dude. What's up?
I'm
what do you
Drifter,
mean,
bro?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
That's you're skirting the line. That was the nice edge, or between Destiny dad joke and Destiny uncle joke.
He's like, the people listening have no idea that he looks like a Drifter, like a Dredgen, like he looks like Gambit. He's the embodiment of how I picture Gambit people looking like. That's it, right there.
Just got a green giant hood over headphones.
Oh my God, he's wearing it too. Don't make this canon, Nim. Don't make canon. Ramblings real. Don't do this.
I didn't even know. He's actually wearing the Gambit hoodie. For those of you listening at home, I knew it.
It's canon now.
It's
the design in the back
His
is
name is
absolutely gorgeous.
Turn around. We got to see it. You can't just say that and like, don't pull your headset off. But like,
check him out. Twitch.tv/Drifter.
That's right.
Terms of service.
Oh my gosh.
You got a snake on your back, dude. I don't want to alarm you.
Pretty cool. I got it at PAX. It's so comfortable.
Kind of jealous now. The only thing that would make it better is if it glowed in the dark.
It does.
Oh my God.
What?
Turn the light off. Turn it off. You can't just say these things. Turn it off. Turn it off.
It's hard. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be dark enough for y'all to see it.
Show me. I have to see it.
Hold on. Give me a sec.
That's all right. We'll do the rest of the introduction while this.
Do it.
Dredgen Nim is going to put on a show here for you guys.
Oh my God.
In the meantime, Aura, you started all of this. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back. It's good to be here. Let's do this. I'm ready.
Right on. Yeah. It's oh man, we got a whole new season of content to talk about. I'm ready to get on into it with you guys. Dan.
Oh hi.
The flannel tee returns.
Hi. I'm representing my tribe, the Brawny tribe.
you do look like the brawny guys, the brawny man's younger brother.
We're here to clean up this podcast.
Oh, it's a mess. Good luck.
I've already derailed the entire thing.
It's a mess.
5 minutes in,
you're gonna have to double wad those extra strength brawnies to clean this up, because it's off the rails.
Does Dem have to hold this thing up to the lights like you did those glow in the dark things when we were kids or something? Like, what happened? Do you have to turn the sun off? Do you have to turn the
outside?
Yes.
He's gonna turn.
1 second. I gotta turn the sun off real quick, guys. Hang on a second.
Hit that switch.
Yeah.
He's gonna turn the light off, and the dog is just gonna go insane.
Oh, absolutely lose its mind.
Yeah.
This is the prime time podcast content you all have come to know and love. And that's you know what? You're here, you clicked it. You already see it. Don't worry, there'll be a payoff here. I guarantee it. Hi, my name's the Black Link. We're all here, and this is what happens when we all get together. This is why we don't all get together anymore, because it's just an unraveling series of nonsense. Ugh, good times. So,
all right.
Oh, do we have it?
I don't know if you guys will be able to.
Oh, I can totally tell.
I can tell.
Yeah, you definitely tell. That's crazy. Did they tell us it glowed in the dark?
No, I don't recall ever hearing about that. Okay. Can you hear us, Nim?
Yes.
Yes, we could tell that it glows in the dark. That's freaking cool, and I want one, and I'm mad that I can't go to PAX because it's on the other side of the country. Ugh. Ugh.
You can it should be in the Bungie store or in insertcoin.com
or on eBay for like $500.
That'll be the option.
Yeah,
being sold by Nim, by the way. Nim's the jacket scalper on eBay.
Whatever, man.
Well, cool. That's a pretty awesome hoodie. I like that it glows in the dark. Now I remember them doing that for Season of Drifter. Did they do that for any of the other seasons? Because I don't peruse the Bungie store often.
No, I don't think so.
What else would you even get like a zip up for?
Like the Season of the Undying with the Vex symbol. I think that would be cool.
I mean, that would be cool, but instead we just get a pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a mental nervous breakdown after grinding out Vex critical kills with bows and or Nightfalls, which by the way is back. Our Nightfall grind is right back at 0.
Yeah.
But you guys want to see something funny?
No.
When I went to the beer pong thing that Datto hosted, they were if you signed up, they were handing up these cups, and I don't know if you guys would be able to tell, but the number on the cup is 2402.
Oh no. At least he's being a good sport about it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
F's in chat for the legendary 2402. Ooh. Well, he didn't have to worry about that this time around because, of course, there's no raid in the old Season of Dawn, as it were. But that content did launch. We've all had almost a week to play through it. I'm assuming everybody here has been through like all of the story, played through the Sundial a couple times, got some obelisks or basilisks, as certain people here refer to them.
Just be prepared for the duration of this podcast for me to call an obelisk a basilisk because it's easier.
Similar words.
Yeah.
Same thing, yeah. But what do you guys think? Season of Dawn is out. Had a chance to play through it. What do you guys think of it thus far?
It's fun for the time that it allowed me to play it.
It's neat.
Did our silence kind of speak louder than words?
No.
The fact you're like, what do you think? And nobody said a word. Did that?
Tiny little bit.
Go ahead.
It felt like I was given the go here and kill this like right out of the gate. Like the first thing I was told to do was go here, and I forget what it was. Between the bounties for the obelisk itself, where you got to kill the 25 captains and snipe 50 enemies with precision kills, or the grenade launcher kills, or the patrols, it reminded me an awful lot of the faction rally, where you're just told to go and do certain things just to participate. I will say that once you got through it and you got to the sundial is actually pretty fun activity. It's quick and dirty, which unlike the menagerie can be a total disaster regardless. If you have bad blueberries, the menagerie can be a really, really, really horrible experience. The sundial, even with like teammates who kind of don't know how to use a weapon, is still pretty doable, quick. I mean, there's only 3 encounters that I've seen so far, regardless. So, and the rewards are pretty worthwhile. I'll say this: the content seems pretty meh at this point, but the weapons,
they're so good.
We're seeing Bungie take like steps out of the comfort zone, I think, with this. And I haven't really used many of them yet, but what I'm reading about and what people are really excited about in chat, Bungie might be onto something here.
Yeah. So there was a small, and this is probably like a UI gripe that I had with my first couple of hours with Season of Dawn. So I came in after work, excited to play and get to like the same 14 stuff. So I went to Osiris, picked up the main quest, and then linked to the obelisk. And I had several people tell me this as well. But after I linked up the Tangled Shore obelisk, I was like, what now? What happens next? Am I time gated? because I had nothing. Like there was nothing else in my quest log. Like I was like, all right, so I guess the next obelisk is time gated, and I'll work on rituals for the next couple of hours. So I started doing that, and then like 2.5 hours later, I'm seeing people already like posting images of like Saint 14 on Twitter and stuff, and I'm like, all right, well clearly I'm missing something. So just out of pure curiosity, I go back to Osiris, and sure enough, he has the other obelisk to link up on Mars, and then he also has the other 2 steps. And I'm just like, where was it? Where was the notification? Like it doesn't really tell you. So I did the thing the next day. The Saint 14 mission was fantastic.
That was cool.
So good. The level design, the actual like having Saint 14 there, with the waves of Fallen coming at you.
And there were waves.
Yeah.
There were waves.
Yeah.
The most annoying Fallen Walker in the history of this game. Good guy.
Oh, absolutely. But as Aura mentioned, so far, the weapon design of Season of Dawn is just beautiful. Like they are absolutely 100% like this should be the standard going forward with legendaries. Like they've even introduced a new weapon frame in the as the grenade launcher, which is a wave frame. It straight up like shoots a thermite grenade, and it leaves like a trail of fire. That's amazing. That's the kind of stuff that I love to see, like in this game. Just having these very unique thematic weapons, and the new perks are dope too. In some sense, we have an elemental primary back. Like, that's so dope.
Yeah, that was something that I actually wasn't really expecting with this season. I knew we were going to see some new weapons, of course. We got a brand new season coming up, a new activity. I wasn't expecting some of the new abilities that we got on these weapons. Like the one you just mentioned is called Elemental Capacitor, I want to believe. And it's increased
osmosis.
Osmosis. You're thinking of, I'm thinking of the osmosis one, where it's like you use your grenade ability and it changes the weapon's element to match your subclass until you put it away. So you can just give yourself an elemental primary. The one I was thinking of, elemental capacitor, I think changes its stats based on what your currently equipped subclass is, which is cool. It's like, I think solar increases reload speed, arc increases handling, I want to say, and void increases stability, which is, that's just neat. I never would have expected to see that sort of thing. And I'm really happy that Bungie is moving not just to expand the weapon pool, but also the weapon perk pool. There's some pretty awesome combinations in there. That thermite grenade wave grenade launcher is just, that's neat. That's an awesome ability to have. There's some cool stuff in there for sure.
Yeah. The symmetry is really cool too.
Yeah.
Like, the gun that you get
is so dumb.
It's so good. Like, so upon playing with it, like chat was telling me, hey, you should reload that real quick after you get like up to 15 stacks. And so I did. And I was like, is this Borderlands? This is Borderlands. This is an alternative firing weapon. And this is brilliant. I love that gun so much. I've just been trying to plink away at everything.
Surprisingly good. It's surprisingly good. And I think Fallout made a video on it this week about the efficiency of that weapon as a PvP gun. And that's kind of, that's something I remember us asking for a while back. Give us more weird, crazy exotics, something unique, not just a gun that shoots faster when you get a kill or gets a bit more damage when you get a kill. And this is cool. You land those precision shots, you charge that thing up, you swap the firing mode, and suddenly it's auto shooting these big tracking beams. Have you guys tested the tracking on them? They follow for a fair distance.
Yeah.
We'll say it's a fair distance.
The hitbox is like Queen Breaker.
Yeah.
When you have the revolution activated. It is dumb. I did I tested it with a pal the other day in a private match. You straight up don't even have to aim at them, just like in their general direction, and they will get hit.
Oh wow!
It's like Axiom bolts.
Yeah.
Coming out of your gun. Yeah, it's neat. It's fun. I don't know if it's going to take the place of max DPS weapons, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't have a place, especially with scout rifle. Well, you can't put mods on scout rifles. Never mind. I was going to say if you put like unstoppable on it or something, that'd be fun, but we can't, right? Or did they change that?
I think the symmetry has something built in. I
like
want
intrinsic kind of like overload or something like that. That'd be neat because
I think so.
You know, that's still something that was lacking last season. I haven't done Nightfalls. I haven't done any I did a couple of raids. I haven't done many pinnacles or whatnot. Are you guys hanging on to the armor that's dropping this season just in case these mods become useful?
I haven't even looked at the mods yet. I've been kind of unlocking them. Like I still haven't even put the class item mod to work yet. The ones the charged with light mechanic. I completely forgot about that.
So, well, there's two different sets, right? There's mods that are going to come from the obelisks. The basilisks will have mods that you unlock as you rank them up. And we have the mods that are going to drop from our seasonal class item. And I haven't used hardly any of it yet. I was going to farm Nightfalls for the sidearm, the Vanguard sidearm for the Pinnacle or whatever gun it's called. But
Buzzard.
It turns out you can just go to like the Nightfall this week and go to Trostland and just go farm ads.
Yeah,
and
just run in a circle. Get it done. You'll be done in an hour.
Yeah, that's why it took me about 2. Yeah, so
would have been nice to know.
I made a video, Nim. You don't watch my content.
Friendship is watching each other's
I did
videos.
The kills
Nim.
and everything in a regular strike. Then when I got to the points, it was going pretty slow in regular strike. So I moved over to the Nightfall and it went significantly faster.
Yeah, because the point system for that is a little bit weird. They don't.
There's no description.
Very well. Yeah, there's no description at all.
None.
So people are thinking like, oh, well, I'll just go complete strikes, and like completing a strike gets you like 1 point. No, but killing things also gets you points. So just go do it all in the Trostlands. Just go sit in front of the church, kill things. There's even an infinite spawn you can take advantage of when that captain spawns over by that lost sector. If you leave him alive, he just spawns infinite shanks every like 2 seconds. So you just sit there and shoot shanks for an hour and you'll be done.
Wow.
And it's an okay sidearm. I like it.
Didn't fire a shot of it.
Me neither.
Already trolling for that triumph, aren't you? Just trying to get your title.
I'll say this about the title for the Dawn. Like part of my gravitation towards the Undying was the fact that I thought the seal was gorgeous.
Yep.
This seal is the exact opposite for me. I mean, listen, the Bungie art team is one of the best in business. This seal is hideous, in my opinion. Like the dragon looks really weird. It looks like it has legs that are like running instead of like the tail. It has like sheet music next to it for some reason. I'm trying to understand like what's happening with this seal. When I see like a running dragon, the face of the dragon is like not like maybe it's not even a dragon. I don't know, but I am not emotionally tied to whatsoever the title for the Dawn at all.
Right.
It's interesting. Good. What was that?
You don't want to be a savior?
For a multitude of reasons, no. I like want to rip people's hearts out and kill their dreams. I don't want to be a savior. Well, the opposite.
Away with an Aaron toe.
Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of interesting because the emblem was a big reason for why a lot of people went for Undying last season because it was just a cool looking emblem. And in this, it's kind of a lackluster emblem. But the emblem you get at the very start for like activating the sundial and completing it looks super cool. I don't know why. It's that one. It's the same as the symbol that you get for the sundial bounties, that crazy lit up one. And it looks to me, it reminds me of like the Tron logo. Oh, because it's showing that the corridors of time and the light going up from the sundial. Yeah. It just looks cool. And you get it immediately at the beginning of the season rather than for finishing the title. That could have been the title emblem rather than the running the track running sheet music playing dragon.
I mean, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't
disagree with me. Be like, no, I think it's gorgeous. I love it. I'm gonna earn it. Tell me.
I mean, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I think saying dragon makes it cooler, but I think it's a pigeon. Thematically,
like a city pigeon trying to get like your breadsticks or something.
Yeah,
out of your like.
Yeah, Saint 14 is like big into pigeons.
Pigeon guy.
He's a big bird fan.
He's a big pigeon fan specifically.
He's an avian. Is that what you call it?
In the lore. Yes.
the Birdman episode from Hey Arnold was about Saint 14 in his previous life.
He could have done so much more with this. Like, it could have been a bubble. It could have been like this crazy cool Titan bubble with like a mohawk or something. Like, where's the dragon even come into play? I don't. Clearly, there's something I'm missing. I'm not Mr. Lore guy. That's what Nem's here for.
Yeah.
There's something I'm missing.
I think, yeah, no, Saint 14 is the guy that's sitting on the park bench just feeding the birds.
Yeah, throwing. I'm lost in time. I'm just
yeah,
forever lost in time. Actually, bread is horrible for birds. If you're gonna feed them, you should give them
feed
corn.
them that.
Yeah, give them corn.
Birds bread. Cows. But speaking of the bird feeding Russian and or Greek man, Saint 14, we started talking a little bit about that quest, what you have to do to unlock it. I think it's a pretty cool quest. I like hearing from him, and I like the lore that's going on there. Nim, we talked about this a long time ago when Curse of Osiris first came out, and you and I spoke a bit about the lore behind the perfect paradox and all that. We were like reading this, we're like, we gave him his shotgun. So somewhere in the timeline, we meet him and give him his shotgun. And lo and behold, all this time later, it finally happens. It was a pretty cool moment, but I think my favorite part of that mission was going through the corridors of time.
So good.
That area where you're just kind of running through, and there's a bunch of doors that are blocked off that I get the feeling we may be visiting later, and you're trying to find the right one to go through. That's kind of what the Infinite Forest should have been all along, in my opinion. I mean,
remember that it was locked behind Activision. Yeah, this project must be done by here time though. Yeah. Again, we're seeing the Infinite Forest actually begin to expand before our eyes, and we've seen multiple different versions of it with the Dawning and the Revelry and whatever. And all these kind of things. It's all kind of starting to make a bit more sense, and we're actually starting to explore areas of it that didn't exist before because Bungie's actually had the time to develop it, in my opinion.
Which I'm so happy about, because the Infinite Forest, this is another complaint from all that time ago, I felt like was such an underutilized resource, both narratively speaking and gameplay wise. There was so much that they could have done with it. So I'm really happy that over the years they've stuck with that area. They've made some events out of it. And they've opened it up with the Season of Dawn, aka the Curse of Osiris redemption arc. And they've tied it back into the story. They've given us this pretty cool 6-man activity, the Sundial, which we talked a little bit about earlier. I want to get a little bit deeper into that topic before we move on from it. And of course, the story with Saint 14. I think it's awesome that they're finally kind of exploring that entire narrative plot device. It's cool stuff. It's really cool stuff. So, the Sundial.
Yes.
It's Menagerie 2.0 with an interesting reward system, I think.
Yeah.
I still maintain that the Menagerie and the chess system with the chalice, the chalice system, is the best reward system Bungie has made, like throughout Destiny. It's so cool being able to basically build your own stuff.
I kind of like the Sundial's mechanic a little bit more than I do the chalice.
Yeah.
Just because the chalice was so goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
And like, if you didn't get power, if you didn't get like, what was it, power and efficiency too?
Yep.
Like from the get-go, you were fucked.
You were screwed for a very long time. Which that was me. Yeah. I was that person.
Yeah. So I really, really prefer the Obelisk system right now for rewards, because it's like you get the freedom, and it doesn't cost you anything. It just involves you doing some stuff around the world to get that activated, and you can switch it whenever. It just costs a little bit of glam, and then you can select which one you want. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. That you can not only link an obelisk to the Sundial to get a weapon from there, but you can all that are fairly easy to complete from the actual like planetary obelisk, and still get a Sundial weapon if you don't want to spend the time in the activity. And I think that's such a fantastic mechanic. I love it a lot more than I do the chalice, honestly.
100% agree. And that's where I was going to take that. The chalice was my favorite system, and I feel like this is a pretty neat evolution of that, because they satisfied several objectives here with the Obelisk system. They gave you something to grind for.
Mhm.
They gave you a reason to go back to these older planetary spaces that you might have been ignoring for a while. And with the Obelisk system, I love that it allows for a focused grind. If you want that new wave frame grenade launcher, you head to Mars. You can either pick up that bounty and complete some pretty easy to complete objectives there, or you can go and run the Sundial activity, the obelisk for Mars linked up to it. And that's awesome. And the fact that we're getting other planets that are going to have their own obelisk. This coming week, we're going to have the EDZ and where was it? Nessus?
Nessus, yeah.
Nessus and the EDZ, which are going to bring other weapons into the fold for the Sundial, gives you multiple way to grind these new things and multiple ways to kind of upgrade your character moving forward. Because of course, with these obelisks, you can level up the obelisks themselves by completing bounties that are tied to them and getting that the fractal, whatever it is, new currency that's tied to them, using them to upgrade those obelisks. And then those obelisks will have specific mods and whatnot that you'll be able to unlock for your armor later on. It's a great system to get you to jump to different planets. Because seriously, show of hands and chat, who here has been to the Tangled Shore on purpose for reasons other than seeing the spider? Who?
I avoid that place like the plague.
Show yourself so I can shame you. Do it. like no, who goes there? Who goes to the Tangled Shore on purpose?
I think the only planet that I continuously go to on purpose is the Dreaming City, because I have the ghost. So I go there to pick up resources, if just in case whenever upgrade modules require Barium Bow, I just use that to buy a bunch of them, because like I can get a solid like couple hundred of Barium Bow and like I don't know, just patrolling for like an hour.
Yeah. I do that with Mars. I go to do escalation protocol because I have fun with that and the armor looks neat. But yeah,
I will say that when you compare it to Menagerie, that the menu for Menagerie is much more expansive.
Yeah.
Than Obelisk is. I mean, you're talking about two weapons, rewards, maybe three, versus the Menagerie having a full set of armor and a full set of weapons, and even more than that. I mean, I think it was like 6 weapons and 6 pieces of armor per.
It was a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like, it was a lot.
Yeah,
so
it was a lot.
The Menagerie was more expensive, but it also had a larger menu to choose from. The Menagerie can be a pain in the ass, though.
Yeah.
And this really, I mean, I played with players who were gods. I played with players who've never fired a shot in their life, and we got it done on a relatively speaking the same amount of time. And for a minute, I mean, there was I don't know what was going on with Layla, but I didn't even participate in an entire section. Sorry, teammates. And we still got it done like in no time. Like I was literally like I was literally not participating, and they got it done like really quickly. So, this is the thing that like. Bungie knows that this community will farm like their life depended on it for that perfect roll of that certain gun. So the more ways that Bungie brings to us for us to get that path to progression that I know if I do this, I'm going to get this system, the more we're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Give us a reason to go do that stuff. If you give us something to grind for, we are going to grind for it. And you're absolutely right when it comes to the Sundial. It's a more streamlined version of Menagerie, because rather than it being however many encounters it would take sometimes with bad teams in the Menagerie, because remember, you can get through the Menagerie really quickly.
Yeah.
If your team is completing all of the objectives perfectly. But if your team's not, if they're maybe a little underleveled or they don't know what's going on, or, you know, they're in what's that one challenge where the wizards drop farts everywhere? They're just sitting there and
that's the one everybody hates.
Yeah, the one everybody hates. Sitting there sniffing farts the entire time, then it's going to be a horrible experience that takes forever to get done. Meanwhile, the Sundial is like, you're in, it's 3 encounters. The only one that's even remotely hectic, I think, is maybe the one where you have to stand on the plates. And like, that was only because there were some people in there who had never run Leviathan and had no idea what to do with the Scion commanders.
Yeah.
By the way, jump in the bubble and melee. Stop shooting them. If your bullets didn't work the first 15 times, it's not going to work the 16th time. Just jump in and stop them. But after that, it's pretty quick and easy. It's very straightforward. It's a fun activity. And I like that the boss has mechanics tied to it.
Yes.
But isn't ridiculous. It's
mechanic light.
Well, we'll see. Like, so let me ask you guys this. Do you think it's going to change? Because if you look at the triumphs for the title, there's what, 3 different ones we're going to face?
4 different bosses?
There's
I think
3 or
there's
4 different bosses.
There's 3 different flayers, and there's one other thing that might be maybe the heroic version is a different boss. I'm not sure.
There's the 3 sisters from the lore texts that we're going to face each iteration, and then there is one for the legendary on the calendar.
Right. So there's 4 total bosses, 3 that are regular, and then 1 heroic. And it's like maybe the mechanic in the boss room changes because right now we get sucked into a void bubble we can't get out of.
Yes.
I hope that in this may be getting a little bit. What's the word here that I just completely blank? Ambitious. And I may be getting ambitious here. But I'm kind of hoping that the actual
the boss is the Undying Mind. I read your mind.
No, that the encounters, like the previous encounters before the bosses, they change with each like weekly rotation. Because I don't know if like I'll
so instead of like throwing balls at an immune cabal overlord and sitting on plates, we're gonna be doing something where we gotta like build a house with Legos or you know.
No, you don't even get Legos. You get Mega Blocks.
I'm down. I can handle a Mega Block.
Not even
they do the
Mega
Destiny
Blocks.
stuff.
Connects.
Oh, do they still make Connects?
I hope
Holy
so.
crap.
Spent a lot of money on those.
Somewhere I've got a closet full of Connects guns and a very disconcerted FBI agent waiting to talk to me. That might be a little
ambitious.
I like the enthusiasm. That might be a little ambitious given what we know about the way
just because again
seasons go.
Like I think the current encounters before like the bosses are fine. It's just that I don't know if that's going to be enjoyable for like the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Would you rather have rotating boss mechanic encounters or rotating encounters to get to the boss?
Either or
together.
Yeah.
I could see them changing. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense for them to rotate, honestly.
Yeah.
That's that's what the Menagerie did. Well, the Menagerie had set encounters, but it had enough of them, and with the mechanics there, you could go through an entire Menagerie run like back to back and get different encounters each time. Right. And the boss, of course, changed the mechanics each week. I would think that with these different Scions, it's probably going to be different boss mechanics each week.
But we probably have them all already.
I want a flare that like sets everything on fire. It has like a jetpack, dude, like a jetpack gun. Just like a rocket ship that like as a gun and just like torches us. You know what I mean? Like you ever see people make like creme brulee with the blowtorch on the thing?
Yeah.
Like, I want a flare that does that to Guardians. Like we're just
wasn't there a boss in the Prison of Elders that set everything on fire that you had to go hide from?
Wasn't that Psylocke the Defiled?
Psylocke!
Oh my god.
I just blew out.
He sucked.
Yeah.
That dude's that was vicious when it was first implemented. It got easier as it went along, but that was like a legit pain in the ass when that content was just released. That was actually hard.
Yeah.
So a flare with like a little creme brulee blowtorch, I'm down with that.
I'm betting that we already
6 Guardians in a cup, dude. You put 6 Guardians in a cup and just
Oh no. Not again.
We're heading into some very questionable like TOS territory. So let's
what are you talking about?
Let's just move on, please.
I think we already have all the mechanics, honestly. That like we're gonna have a ball drop and we're gonna have to slam it in a hole. Apologies for TOS. And then there's gonna be another one where we kill a guy, we get a ball, and we toss it at him, and then giant fire comes out of the sky. That's like
what if there's like a basketball superstar cabal who's out there to reject our shots though?
Just
packed. Yeah, exactly.
Cream Abdul Cabal.
Like Minute Bowl kind of like dude just comes up and swats it out of the air.
A Centurion just comes up, smacks it down.
Or hits it, throws it back at us, and that beam hits us in the face, dude. That'd be cool, right?
Oh man, as only if he gives us the Mutombo. Not today.
No. Yeah.
Not in the house of Mutombo.
That'd be cool.
I mean, they've got the mechanics. We had the basketball court of Oryx. Let's just throw some. Let's just throw some cabal in there to play center and back shots. Yeah, I want the mechanics to change. I get the feeling that probably not. At most, it'll probably just be something slightly different for each of the Scions. Yeah. I mean, because let's look at the way the boss is right now, and I forget what her name is, but she basically emulates Daddy Callus. all of her mechanics are the same ones from Leviathan. You've got the Scion commanders you got to take out to break the shield. She puts you into a detained bubble that's similar to the Shadow Realm from the Callus fight. You shoot the little thing to get yourself out. I want to imagine that maybe some of the others are utilizing mechanics from the other raid layers in the Leviathan. Like, it'd be cool if this next week we have like mechanics from Eater of Worlds, or maybe you have to get like a Vex Cranium and pop something, or maybe during damage phase the Scion will shoot out those little chaser harpies that blow everybody up. But
were any of the Scions working closely with the Vex? I don't remember from D1.
No, but
very no.
So the way that the lore tabs read before the launch was that these three, Oslect, Tazarok, and what was the one that released this week? I can't remember what her name.
Nirul.
Nirul. They're three like sisters technically, which that's a lore thing all over the place. Yeah. They found the Sundial is basically just a prototype, and Osiris was using it to just scour all the timelines for a way to save Saint 14. They found it, they broke it, so that they could win, and like that's the entire storyline.
So they could win the Red War, and then we go back to okay.
So it's timey-wimey.
So no Vex craniums are going to be there if they're not working with the Vex. Would it be a Cabal cranium that's like, and it shoots skulls, kind of like Callus's face in a raid?
Oh my gosh!
You just grab a war beast and you just chuck it at him.
I want a skull gun now.
Why can't we get Callus's skull as an ornament for the Jotun? Why can't I have that now? Oh, I would pay money for that. I would pay money for that in Eververse, Bungie.
That would be cool.
Please. Yeah. Oh, just like the mask we have of Shadow Callus. Just on my gun, I shoot little Callus faces at people. Oh my god. That'd be beautiful. Money. All the money
like
for
having an ornament for a colony that just shoots tiny screebs.
Oh, and they crawl at people. Oh, that'd freak me. No, never mind. Full reverse. That would freak me out. Ugh. I hate those things.
Tiny screebs just running at you in a PvP match. Oh no, run away.
This was a mistake. Full stop. Reverse it. But I guess, overall, yeah, I like the Sundial. I think it's a cool activity. I love the reward system for it. I think it's great. I don't know if the exotic quests have been data mined yet, but I'd imagine they're probably going to have some steps that require Sundial. And it's an activity that after a week of playing it on multiple characters, I haven't gotten sick of it yet. So that's a good sign.
Wow, really? I'm actually pretty surprised.
Yeah, I haven't gotten sick of it yet. That's a good sign for things, at least.
Fair enough.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm motivated to rank up my Obelisk on Mars. I want to get it all the way to 10 before reset so that I can focus on other things that are coming. I'm sure it's part of one of the triumphs for the title that I'm not going to
absolutely.
As ugly as sin. But like, regardless, I still think it's like, what? It's so bad.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
understandable. Have a nice day.
I'm just saying, I've been pouring all my materials into the Mars one. I've been getting a lot of rolls for the grenade launcher that I haven't used yet, but everyone's talking really cool things about it, so I'm just stockpiling those. And I'm actually kind of motivated. I think the fact that it's pretty quick is part of the reason why I'm open to doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel as daunting as doing the Nightfall and getting 450 solar ability kills, and then doing it on my Arc and my Void character for scores of 180 million for a fucking emblem.
Oof. Oh my god. I got Undying like 2 days before Season of Dawn came out, and I was just so done with it.
Yeah.
And now you got to do it all over again. So then you can wait till the end of this season to do it, and then at the very beginning of next season have the next one in line to look at it again and be like, I never want to do this ever again.
Or like, are you trying to depress me? Because this is what's happening.
I'm thinking, like, listen, I want to rip everybody's heart out in Crucible. I don't want to do it in real life.
I'm just
Bungie, please rethink this. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Please.
There's a lot to go on there. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like a lot of artificial grind. especially with the go here, shoot this.
You have to do artificial
back.
grind in seasons that are light. Like we're talking about
Right.
Season of the Forge and unlocking a forge again. It's part for the course, but the fact of like the Sundial being relatively fun to run.
Yeah.
And you can bring stupid weapons and run dumb loadouts and still be effective versus going into Nightfalls where you're fighting against champions and barrier and overload and this and that and having a set loadout and trying to depend on
point
ability.
threshold.
Like we're not. It's that. It seems outlandish to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what they do about that though, because you're right. With these smaller seasons, they put in stuff like that to keep you playing for the whales to continue playing.
I'm looking at the seal right now, and it doesn't look too bad. There's several secret triumphs in there. I don't think those have been data mined yet. But a good chunk of them are maxing out, or not maxing out, but increasing the resonance on the obelisks, and then a good chunk of the rest is kill the layers, then kill the last one. And then the legendary version of the last one, and then the rest is secret triumphs. But
you're probably looking at a flawless,
maybe,
probably.
maybe like a flawless one.
I
or
think
trials, maybe, perhaps a time trial run
for sure.
And I remember seeing a Reddit thread about a flawless, and like the way it is it's player based. So like your whole team doesn't have to go flawless. It's just you. You just have to not die.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I'd rather have a seal like this than
better get those Vex precision hits with the bow, bro.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to do precision hits on the Vex for this. You have to do it in order to progress the story for Scene 14. So you still had to do certain aspects of what you needed to do in
didn't have to be with a bow though.
50 kills is nothing versus however freaking many
percentage. It was like 400 or 500.
400, yeah.
It was just dumb.
Oof.
But that's not my gripe. My gripe is the Nightfall score and the Nightfall abilities and whatnot. Like it's a season's worth of content. So it's 3 months worth of
3 months.
Yeah.
So maybe the fault is on us who do them in like 3 days, but it still just seems like not fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm seeing some people in chat talking about the grind this time being a bit easier, and I'd say for the most part, especially with the ritual weapons. The ritual weapons are super easy.
I got the Vanguard done in 2 hours. Yeah,
you can get all of these done in a single day, in a single sitting, in a single day if you're patient enough.
I started them on what day are we in? We're Sunday. I started them Saturday morning from like start to finish. I have all of them. They're not.
Doesn't take long.
No, the Gambit one alone took me like 3 hours.
So does anybody else here have any of the ritual weapons?
Just the sidearm. I haven't tried for the shotty or for the I don't know if I care about the linear fusion rifle, honestly.
I mean, neither do I.
Yeah, I got the Buzzard today.
Yeah,
earlier today on accident.
So Aura, Dan, and myself, we did the easiness and got the Buzzard, and that was it. Nim did all the work and got all three, which means you get to talk about those weapons, buddy. Have you had a chance to play with them?
Here's the thing. All right, the Buzzard, the sidearm.
Yep.
I'm not going to use a sidearm on a strike.
Yep.
At all. Like, don't get me wrong. Again, the design is great.
It's cool.
It looks pretty. It's pretty unique. It's got some interesting like perks and like combinations with it, like Swashbuckler and Outlaw or Osmosis if you want a kinetic primary. But fourth, I don't know if I'm really gonna swap Outlaw for 4th times the charm on a sidearm.
Yeah.
Let alone like give up something like maybe Blasphemer or a Talons or a Perfect Paradox with Rampage for a sidearm. The Python, I already have a last man standing with 1-2 punch. Granted, not everybody does, and this is a quick way to get it, which is cool for those that don't. But not gonna swap this out. You know, I'm not gonna swap out in my like an Arantel or a Divinity. I've been on a Graviton Lance kick for it.
It's good.
And the Komodo, I mean, it's a linear fusion rifle with you can easily get a Crooked Fang with a much better roll than the Komodo. Honestly, I don't know if having no distractions on a linear fusion rifle really kind of like warrants it. Their aim assist is pretty like generous as is. So, I mean, it gives you it gave me something to do. That's realistically speaking, that is literally the only reason why I got it. And maybe because I'm going to go for Savior. Outside of that, I personally don't see myself using any of these weapons in any activity.
Yeah, I would say I feel about the same. I like the Buzzard, the Vanguard Ritual sidearm, but it's not gonna it's not gonna stop me from using my perfectly rolled Austringer.
Right.
There's no way I'm taking that off for it. There's no way I'm gonna take off a perfect paradox for it. There's no way I'm gonna take off my Izanagis for it. You know
exactly.
And then
again,
good.
And like, sorry, and again, granted, you know, we're comparing Sidearm with Izanagis, but
yeah,
I think the ritual concept is cool because you know the pinnacles clearly were out of hand, like they were clearly out, like the PvP ones were outperforming exotics.
I agree with the spirit of what you're saying, but I disagree with the feel.
Hear me out. So rituals is a cool concept that I think it would benefit by if once we complete a ritual weapon, I would love for that weapon to get inserted into the random roll loophole. Because if a player really likes that weapon, and they don't want the curated roll, because I mean, again, like a sidearm with 4 times the charm as a curated roll, clearly you're going to use outlaw over that
because you're spamming precision hits on a sidearm.
Exactly. I would rather have full auto, for example, you know, instead of that. So I would love to see some of these ritual weapons, because again, they're not pinnacles, they're not crazily overpowered. These are just standard perks that you can get literally in any other weapon. I would love to see these get inserted into the random roller pool once you acquire them. So hey, you want another Buzzard? Keep playing Strikes. You want another Python? Keep playing Gambit. So on and so forth.
I just like, I mean, first of all, just calling them ritual is kind of strange. Like, what about them is ritualistic? It's just like a weird terminology to use for it when Bungie's so like phonetically on point with so many different things. Like, I don't know. So like that's weird in and of itself, but sidearms are really fun to use when you're not doing anything serious. Like when I was using sidearms and strikes to get kills, it was fine. I was running dual sidearm, you know, and it was plenty fun to just run around and be pew-pewing everything. But I think that's where we have to go with it. Like we have to understand that not every single gun is going to be the next meta go-to weapon for all of our end game activities. We have to understand that some of it's just going to be for fun. But I think you are correct in the fact that there's not a whole lot that's fun about a 4 times the charm and a no distractions linear fusion rifle. Like there's just not a lot of fun to be had there versus like Rampage or multi-kill clip or something like that, where I can just literally like shred through things. Even using the Rat King was fun today. Just going invisible after reload and whatnot was actually kind of neat. So I feel what you're saying. I just like adding more of them into the loot pool would just mean more that I have to already delete. I think. I mean, the way, like, what's the Regix's broadsword? Like, if that rolled with different perks, would that cause you to use it?
It does.
I mean,
no
it does.
It rolls with different barrels and what you can get a different masterwork.
Oh yeah, but that's it. But I think that's
it's still a trash gun though. Like a trash gun is a trash gun no matter what. So is this sidearm going to be bad no matter what roll it is put on it?
Well, not necessarily, again, from a perspective of it being good or bad, but from a perspective of a player who doesn't want a 4 times the charm on that sidearm. It's like, hey, I like the way the sidearm feels. I would love it if it had full auto instead of, you know, that perk. Like, again, because it gives them a reason to go back into the strike playlist and possibly get another one.
You know, it's going to be coming next, right? We're gonna get like
Nope.
the noob gun from Halo, the pistol.
Oh,
from Halo you can
yes.
charge. We're
The
gonna end up
Jack
getting
Antique.
something like that. Like in order to make a sidearm stand out, that'd be one of the ways you would do it, right? Have one that you could charge the projectile as you let it go, have it be slower moving, but tracking. Like I think that's the direction that Bungie would be headed in if I was gonna, because sidearms like they almost don't even belong in the game. Like you can make a case that if they were gone tomorrow, that nobody would even notice that they were removed, right? Like,
I mean, because the old utility for them was as the special weapon that always had ammo.
Yeah.
That was the old utility.
Wormwood,
and that's
the
no
Wormwood.
longer the case.
Wormwood, Dreg's Promise, Trespasser, like those were the that was
Always
it. That
had
was in
ammo.
D1. They really, I mean, you can make a case for what was it? They just released it this season as another version. Last Hope.
Last Hope, yeah, the one of the
That was year one
anniversaries.
D2. You know, that was the gun year one D2. Is that and like or Uriel's Gift, which is also
Last
been
Hope, Last
re-released.
Dance, yeah.
But-
Yeah.
When they changed the weapon system, nobody even knows that they're here. And I'm sorry, Bungie, but making one a ritual weapon is not going to like renew people's interest in
in
the gun.
No.
Sidearms. Yeah, they're in a weird spot right now.
Same thing with linear fusion rifles. If they were gone tomorrow, would
See, here's
anybody
the
notice
thing.
right now?
Right. So here's the thing with that though. I mean, like sidearms, sure, like they're not a meta weapon in any way, shape, or form. There are players who use them like effectively in PvP and stuff like that. But I do not want another, like I don't want them to make them revel in it like again how it was in Destiny 1. There was
Don't
just,
take
like,
my ammo,
sidearms
bro.
all over the
Oh, they're
place.
giving us
Yeah.
plenty of ammo. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that. There's ammunition everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's like,
But,
what do they do to make sidearms more interesting then, as a weapon type? Because right now they're like smaller, weaker hand cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's they're
They're
weird.
good. They are actually strong.
In
It's just-
PvP, yeah.
they're strong in PvE. I mean, I was shredding enemies doing what I was doing today. I had no
Yeah.
problem carving through multiple waves of enemies, but they're just like there's nothing special about it. I could do the exact same thing with X, Y, or Z too. There's nothing
Mhm.
stand out about the class, and it wasn't like it was like super fun either. Like
Right.
weaving in and out, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I was this gunslinger slinging like sidearms. So
Yeah.
like
So what if they implemented a system where sidearms were the only weapon in the game that you could have an option to dual wield? And dual wielding
That would
them
be
cut
interesting.
their range down, but shot up that DPS in
Mhm.
close range encounters.
That'd be interesting for sure.
I
mean,
have
again,
a lot of
it-
fun with that.
It
Yeah.
would make them interesting, and it would give
If
you
they
a
were what they
reason
are
to
right
use
now,
them.
that would be awful. But they'd have to also tell like because I mean they do a lot of damage. Kind of like nobody really uses them, but they're actually very strong. They're just not all that fun. Like they're
If
just
you
kind of
held
boring.
2 Rat Kings, would you proc Rat?
Absolutely not, because you can only have
Oh.
one exotic.
Well,
You have Rat King and a Buzzard.
God, way to shut me down, TBL.
like that would be.
I thought about it as I was saying it, like, oh no. wait a second.
I've got my vault open right now, and that would be super fun for like I have a smuggler's word in here. It is currently sitting at 750 because I haven't touched it in a while.
Yeah.
But it has full auto trigger system and rampage on it
Mhm.
with
That's
armor
cool.
piercing rounds. It's pretty fun.
I'd almost want kill clip over rampage because I feel like I'd go through the clip so
Yeah.
quickly on a sidearm that multi kill clip or kill clip would be
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
be
if
fun.
that's even a thing that can roll on it.
That would
I don't
be
know.
cool.
My whole point was a sidearm might not have been the best pick for strike ritual
Mhm.
weapon.
I think it's just that we're at that moment where we've seen almost every single archetype, and it's like, well, if
They're
we
going
put
through
in a
them all.
sidearm,
You like
As a
grenade
crucible-
launchers? We got a grenade
You got
launcher
a
for you.
launchers.
You want a machine
We
gun?
got-
We got that.
yeah,
Want a sidearm? Crickets?
No, no, I don't.
yeah, because I think if they would have put in that sidearm in the Crucible as a Crucible ritual, I can just hear people losing their shit.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, all I
I
hear
feel-
anymore is Arbalest's charge rate picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You want to talk about an easy weapon to avoid?
Yeah.
Jump.
Anything, any kind of movement other than standing still. And even in
Move
some
slightly
cases,
to the left.
crouching is all you need to do. Like it, It's only a problem when there's like 3 of them aiming at you, which has happened. But
although the triple or the double linear fusion rifle build is causing some trouble right now, isn't it? With like scavenger perks.
How so?
I remember seeing something about it. Maybe I'm misremembering, but like running Arbalest and like another linear fusion and then having double scavenger pickups makes it so that like picking up special ammo also gave you heavy or something like that.
Oh God.
It was something weird. And there was something going on with grenade launchers in the same way.
they patched that right away though, right?
I would hope so.
I think they took the game offline and patched something, whatever was happening, like
The
immediately.
dynamo.
Yeah. Oh, dynamo. The double dynamo cheese
Double dynamo, yeah.
was glorious for all of 5 seconds before Bungie said nope to that.
So, funnily enough, you know how you can stack mods now? I've been rocking the Blasphemer for a couple of weeks now, and I still have my perfectly god rolled Astrocyte verse that came with pump action, and my boots have double pump iron mods on it. So I have 3 stacks of pump iron. So whenever I'm getting a shoddy kill, I get
man.
Wait, you can stack pump. So because wouldn't it be the same for light reactor?
Yeah, exactly.
Light reactor doesn't roll on boots, does it?
Yes, it sure does.
Oh,
I
No,
got
it's on year 2 boots.
I got it, bud. I got a pair of boots with
From
light
what,
reactor.
what season?
I'll tell you right now. Looking through my inventory.
Looking through chat, I'm seeing people talk about the linear fusion thing.
Yeah.
If you run fusion rifle scavenger and linear fusion rifle scavenger at the same time, whenever you picked up special ammo, you could get heavy ammo, but only for linear fusion heavies. That's what it was.
Sorry,
Which-
not boots. Class item.
Class item, yeah. Class item and helmets is where you can stack them.
Yeah. So they're on. It's a season of the Undying bond where I have double.
Yeah, so it's armor 2.0, pump action, light reactor, and remote that something for snipers. It's,
There's actually new ones too. So there's now one for swords. There's one for heavy
Yes.
machine guns. It's pretty neat. But yeah, like I have this on armor 2.0, 2 light reactors mods, and then my Astrocyte verse also has light reactor.
right. So
Disgusting.
helmets in year 1 and class items in for 2.0 is
Yeah.
where you can stack them. And now you can stack the mods on the armor itself, so you can put light reactor or pump action on the class item twice to make it 3 times the boost for supers.
Kind of
So you get 4 supers in a crucible match if you're efficient, essentially.
I most definitely have. I can if I'm on point, I can have a super within like maybe 60 seconds of a crucible match.
If I've had games where you pop off in the beginning, and plus if you match it with masterworked weapons where you're generating orbs on your double kills, then you're well on your way.
So remember, like the last time when I was on the podcast, we were talking about like masterworking stuff, and I distinct, and I'm eating my words so hard right now. I distinctly said I was like, I don't really see myself masterworking armor or anything like that. I don't need it. Well, I did.
Boy,
my entire armor is masterworked.
So even if you want to do like enhanced anything and like a recovery perk, you're looking at 9 because it's 4 for recovery and it's 5 for your enhanced whatever, whether it's targeting, reload. So you need at least 9 on it. So I could see that being the case.
Yeah.
So you found some benefit with fully masterworking?
I am running like 100 intellect build. So like you mix that in with those pump action and light reactor mods and just gross. So yeah,
that's the customization that we were always looking for, being able to minimize and maximize those stats. So glad you're taking advantage of it. I still haven't masterworked anything. Not a darn thing.
Still be minus.
I'm just not getting enough of the enhancement prisms or whatever they're called to bother with it, honestly. And like, I'm not grinding the activities that would reward me to allow me that kind of a luxury. I think I have 6 ascendant shards or whatever they're called.
Yeah. So I got a good chunk of them when I was doing the Undying stuff, because I was grinding Nightfalls with friends, and we were doing the 920, and then we did several 980s when it was Protheon. which was incredibly easy.
Mhm.
So I got plenty of shards and plenty of the prisms to like afford this. I think I've only ever bought one Ascendant shard from Banshee. The rest have come from Nightfalls.
They're
It's
crazy
expensive.
expensive from him.
Yeah.
They are.
Like wildly expensive. So I haven't done that either.
Yeah, if there's an easy Nightfall, just spam that. Like the moment Lake of Shadows becomes a Nightfall, 980 Lake of Shadows spam. Come on in, easy stuff. But so I think that's a pretty good segment on the ritual weapons. But before we cap that off, I did want to bring up the notion of swords and rocket launchers. I saw somebody in chat talking about that. Those are two weapon classes that haven't shown up as either pinnacles or ritual weapons. And it reminds me of the curated rocket that we got this season. Have any of you gotten far enough along on the season pass track to earn it?
No.
It's trash. It's hot garbage. The curated role is... Let's do a bit of a Destiny history test here. Who went through the entire Crucible questline in the Taken King and got the hot head?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, wow.
Remember how bad the hothead was? How
Yeah.
awful the perk set on that was?
Yeah.
This is the hothead. The curated rocket from this is about as bad as that. And it got me thinking, we haven't seen swords. We haven't seen a rocket launcher as a ritual or a pinnacle weapon. They've moved away from pinnacle weapons, obviously, with less powerful ritual weapons, ritual gear here. So it made me think, well, if they ever did one of those, what would they put on it to make it interesting or worthwhile? I honestly can't think of anything.
For
right
what?
now, I can't think of any perks to put on a sword or on a rocket launcher that would make it interesting or worthy of being a ritual thing.
Without
I
being
honestly
exotic.
can't put anything. Yeah, whenever I think of a rocket launcher that I want to use in Destiny 2, it's like, okay, what am I playing? Gambit or PvP? Truth. PvE? Wardcliff if I have to. And only if I have to. There's just not really a lot of perks on those weapons that make them feel worthwhile to me.
We haven't seen rockets be good in this game since Sins of the Past, right? Like, it was really the only one that was worthwhile. Outside, I mean, I'm talking about legendaries. Obviously, Truth is pretty strong. Obviously, Wardcliff on console was like the go-to for comp and whatnot. But we've really, like, they haven't, and it really goes all the way back to when Galhorn got nerfed.
Yep.
Like, they've taken kind of a backseat all the way back then. If I was going to make a ritual rocket launcher, because God knows what it would take to get it, with the weapon economy being what it is, the ammo economy, I would want something with aggressive tracking and stronger than regular cluster bombs.
Yes. I could take that.
I would want napalm bombs on aggressive tracking is what I would want.
That'd be cool.
Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's Breath, but functional.
but functional.
But functional outside of being like really pretty and really neat, like really cool. Like that gun was so cool. And it sucked.
And it had the potential to be the strongest weapon in the game, but everything is hard-coded to flee at the first hint of damage over time or AoE spam. So like nothing stayed in it.
What if smoke napalm was a thing? Like a hunter, like a smoke grenade that would land first to freeze everything and then napalm follow up behind it.
Oh, that'd be cool. It's like slows them and does damage over time.
So that they can't run away.
Yeah.
Right?
That'd be cool.
So that they're stuck in that field. Like these are the kinds of things I'd be looking for with a rocket launcher if I was going to say it'd be usable. But again, like Izanagi's is so prevalent right now in terms of endgame DPS that this wouldn't be a DPS kind of weapon.
Yeah.
This would be an ad control kind of situation. I don't know where, because the idea of these things would be to make them fit in where you're doing content that like really matters and being part of that strategy that really matters at the end of tough content. And it's like, and swords, dude, just bring back Boltcaster. Just
please
do it.
Darktrigger Boltcaster.
Bring back Boltcaster.
I'm bringing back Boltcaster. I mean, I think for swords, they could probably introduce as a ritual weapon with the intrinsic ability to just deflect stuff back.
What about daggers? What about like dual wield daggers or something?
That'd be cool.
Like a hunter?
Yeah. Like a Raphael.
No, those are size.
Raphael. Those,
I mean, that would be cool.
They give us nunchucks, dude. I'd be fine with that. Give us a heavy nunchuck. Like a giant, like a.
You just
like
whap one guy in the
half.
face as a one-hit kill.
Oh,
You have to get close enough and you just go, wha! That'd be awesome.
So I'm sitting here thinking about swords and whatnot, and what they would do for a ritual sword, because it's kind of hard to determine that, because they obviously want to take a step back from pinnacle weapons. They don't want it. They don't want to have another recluse situation where something is just overshadowing everything else in its class. But I'm trying to think of swords. They would almost need to make a super powerful sword to make it worthwhile. They could do something simple like just giving you a ritual sword that has way more ammo than normal swords do. That would be nice. Or what if they brought in a ritual sword that could choose between different heavy attacks? You could choose between the Phoenix Uppercut. You could choose to do the spin to win.
That's cool.
I think that'd be neat.
That definitely would mix up the the feeling of the swords. But I think in the current sandbox as it is, even by changing like the heavy attack on swords, like you would need to exponentially up the damage on them, just to warrant using them over a hammerhead or over a truth or a delirium, because like it's just not worth it. And their ammo depletes relatively quickly if you're blocking it, so it's kind of like I mean, I'd rather just hide behind cover and not heavy ammo instead of like you know just blocking it. You know what I mean? I think they definitely do need a rework to make them at least a viable option to use over anything else.
I mean, I would rather see swords be implemented in the system than sidearms.
Yeah,
agreed.
Rest in peace, sidearms.
By the way, linear fusions, like that recent buff, kind of hot.
They're very strong.
Yeah, they're very strong in PvE. They're so good.
Crooked Fang can out damage Sleeper now, which is
really
Sleeper.
Really.
Yeah, I think like
Sleeper.
with either a boss spec or whatever the major spec mod is on it, Crooked Fang can out damage a Sleeper shot, which is
that's unfortunate.
Ouch. Ouch, Bungie. Why? Why
I
you
know.
do this?
I was using the I was using a Crooked Fang today with boxed railing and high impact reserves.
Yep.
And I was just playing a regular strike, and heavyweight's not even on. And it was a Protheon strike, and I emptied out, I want to say, a good chunk of my ammo, but his health is less than half. So they're doing like a solid damage. They feel really good. They feel really nice in PvE.
They got a big buff back in Warmind, I want to say.
Oh my god.
They started doing unbelievable amounts of damage in PvE. I would love to see the numbers for the modifiers of damage in PvE for linear fusions, because they do unreal amounts of damage. And I remember people first started noticing it in Escalation Protocol, where they're like, man, I'm having a real hard time getting through this with rockets and grenades, but I whipped out a Crooked Fang and it two-shot this thing.
Yeah.
What's going on here? So yeah, they're definitely really strong with all the aim assist that's tied to them. Good lord, linear fusions are a pretty good option.
Yeah, they've been a lot.
It's a shame Komodo's worthless.
It's a shame that I already had a legendary sitting better than it, but
yeah,
collections and such.
Yeah,
which is a shame because the Komodo looks pretty. I like
cool.
the little change that they did on the barrel of the gun. It's pretty cool. I prefer the Saint 14 looking the themed linear fusion rifle. That looks like a freaking wire rifle that the hobgoblins use.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, this is it. This is the kind of standard that legendaries need to have going forward.
Has anybody gotten the Hawthorne's Hammerforged shoddy yet? Tried any of the new rolls on it?
No, not yet.
I got it to drop out of an engram, and I haven't fired a shot of it yet. Like rapid fire shotties just chew through ammunition so quickly that it's like hard for me to justify using them. I remember Hawthorne being very good in year one. Like
they fired a little faster back then.
It fired faster back then, and it was a power weapon, right?
Yeah, it was a power weapon.
Yeah.
Ooh, that hurts to remember.
Dark Ages.
That brought me physical pain to think about.
Oh, the Dark Ages.
Well, we were talking about this in chat this weekend, and it was like the first time that we saw Curse of Osiris. We talked about this in the podcast. Like, it was kind of neutered down. And I think part of the reason why we weren't able to enjoy everything that Curse of Osiris had to offer was because the weapon system was so bland. And like being able to revisit some of these activities and kind of go back, and this is almost like a chance for Osiris to kind of redeem himself.
Redemption arc.
You know what I mean? Like
Renaissance.
because the sandbox is so different than it was then, which makes it more enjoyable to play through now.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there. And I'm like, shoot, I'm looking at just in terms of weapon design, I'm looking at the line in the sand linear fusion, which is the Sundown fusion. It's everything I ever wanted from a fusion rifle. It actually looks like a railgun. It's gorgeous. And yeah, why would I use Komodo when I have that thing?
Exactly.
It's just a gorgeous gun. And you know, the random rolls kind of give it a bit of a benefit there.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's enough to talk about ritual weapons and all that kind of stuff. Before we get on into audience questions, we did have a little bit of news to talk about. We've got an event that's getting ready to start this week. The Dawning is going live once again, boys and girls.
Wow.
We've got old Granny Ava back. That
What's
is
the Dawning
this week.
This guy.
Well, Grinch Aura, it's when you get yourself when you get.
Are we baking cookies again?
Oh yeah, you get all up into
we got in the
hot
oven?
cookie oven.
Dude, my inventory can't handle any more crap going in it.
Oh, it's over.
The character
It's over.
inventory.
We've got like 12 ingredients plus new ones. They said we've got new ingredients.
Oh God.
Hopefully that'll be in its own inventory page that's tied to the oven. Because I think that's how they did it last year, right? Please tell me that's how they did it last year. Because if it's going into my normal inventory,
There's no room
for me. There's no room.
I thought that they did put it inside. The oven was the container for the rest
It's
of
a
those.
refrigerator and an oven.
Yeah, it's a dual use. But yeah,
Right.
I think that's how they did it last year. That would make the most sense to me. But
I want to say that's how it was done last year. And they're basically it's basically going to be the same system this year. You're going to go around, you take out enemies. Those enemies will drop ingredients. You can utilize those ingredients to mix and match and make different goodies like cookies and chocolate and stuff like that you then deliver to different NPCs across the system, generally all the vendor NPCs. And that's how you level up in the Dawning, and you get access to special Dawning gear. Like we've got a new SMG that we've got this time around. And also the Avalanche from last year is going to be dropping. So if you didn't get a chance to participate last year, you're going to have an opportunity to get some random world versions of that.
That's a good weapon out there, listeners, viewers.
Not bad at all.
That is a very good weapon.
High impact LMG, solar damage, good stuff.
Did you ever get a good roll on the TBO when it came around?
I don't think so. Let's see. Let me just bring up talk about the Dawning for a second. Let me bring up my gem and see if I ever got anything decent from that. Because that might have been one of the times I got gypped. Because I didn't get the armor. That's what I was mad about last year.
Yeah.
I got screwed out of the armor. I played religiously, opened tons of Eververse engrams, did not get a single bit of the winter fire gear, whatever it was.
yeah,
Damn it.
For Warlock. And like that set was the hotness, and I never got it. Super mad about it. Looks like I got a couple rolls of it. I got one roll with high impact reserves, feeding frenzy, high caliber. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for that thing. Another, I got high impact, under pressure, extended mag. So I got 2 good rolls. 2. I don't know about anybody else.
I think the one that I got was a high cal, feeding frenzy, and rampage.
You could
Feeding frenzy rampage is on mine too. It's insane.
That's
Now,
nasty.
Rampage got nerfed. They got it. Rampage is taking a step back, but it's a very
It's
strong light machine gun.
Yeah,
And
that's what I've been
sure
using.
does
It's
damage,
better
like-
than the Edgewise.
Right. It's better than the Edgewise. And what's the other one? The temporal something or other. The other one from the
Temporal
moon.
claws. I don't like that one either.
It's garbage. It's absolute hot garbage. SMGs are better than it. Like this is the only good solar light machine gun in the game, and the population hasn't had it in a year.
yeah.
It's
Is it a
good.
year? It's been gone. Oh,
It's
Chad,
been a
it's so
year.
good. Avalanche
Yeah.
is so good.
That's worth grinding out. And they just mentioned that it's going to be dropping probably from the Dawning packages you'll get from Ava herself.
Ooh.
But I'd imagine hopefully it's going to be dropping right off the bat. Hopefully you don't have to like earn a certain amount of rewards before you can get access to that, because it is a really good LMG. It's worth your time.
They gave you one for completing something guaranteed, and then it became a random drop after you'd earned it. And I have 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if the second one is the cookie cutter version.
I think that version dropped fully masterworked, right?
If it follows the design of the rest of the items that we get, then yeah, it should have.
Was masterworking weapons a thing back then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I deleted that version then.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either, and I've got like 3 random world versions, so I must have deleted it too. It must have been garbage.
You know, I've never been one that liked the Dawning.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like the armor. I don't like the color scheme that it has going on, like the blue and yellow.
Wow.
Just kind of sticks out.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm so glad you're
Edge
voicing
Boy
the fact
Nim
that you don't
hates
like
Christmas.
something. I'm so
Look,
glad.
it's not that I hate Christmas.
He hates Christmas. Confirmed.
He hates
Confirmed.
Christmas.
Look, this man doesn't even like the sleigh, Dan, so you're one to talk.
I hate the
is
sleigh.
true.
I hate Christmas too. It's fine, Nim. Just admit it.
Yeah, but Dan's like an angry elf who's just rebelling against Santa.
Over here on my
that's
smoke
fair.
break.
That's
It's
right.
just
he's
so
on his
rare that I
smoke.
hear Nem be like, "No, I didn't like it." Like, no, that sucked. I hated it. Like, that's always me saying stuff like that. So thank you, Nem,
Right.
for bringing some negativity to this podcast too, man. I appreciate you. Help me out with that.
Just doing my part. Yeah, no, just I've never dug the armor for like the Dawning stuff. Like the horns, I always found the horns to be weird.
Mhm.
Like on that.
It's like antlers.
Yeah, it's like antlers, and I mean the horns on the Titan this year around looks like a ram. And yeah, I don't know. I just not feeling it. It's just that color scheme of like the blue and like gold and yellow just doesn't pique my.
It looks like a Power Ranger movie knockoff stuff. And I mean,
Bad thing.
I like the ghosts that like the snowflake ghost.
Yeah,
That looks neat.
yeah.
That looks pretty. But anything else really? Aside from throwing like snowballs in the tower?
Oh, it's terrible.
That's annoying. There's nothing I hated more than being slowed as I'm trying to run to the gunsmith. Stop it. Cut it out.
I'll just go to the farm. It ain't snowing there. Bungie done forgot this farm
they
existed.
forgot all about the snow on the farm.
It's only winter in the tower.
I'm not really kind of like interested in anything that's coming in with the Dawning this time around. I do like the snow globe ghost though. That's pretty cool.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. But anything else is kind of like not for me.
Well, yeah, I think it's an all right event. But I want to keep this negativity train going because Lord, do I love salt. It's fills me up. Are you ready, Nim? Are you ready to spend $45 on a new set of Eververse gear?
Oof.
Oh hell no!
In the season itself, because you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
It's coming. I have a feeling like a good solid $10 to $15 for each one of those armor sets for sure. And looks like I'm gonna save me some money this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they showed us what the Eververse set looks like, right? And
Yeah.
we've got
I'll post the link here for the seasoning. The seasoning.
The seasoning?
the
Seasoning of the dawn.
You can tell that my head is
Seasoning
like
of the
on
dawn.
food right now.
Perfect. Baking things.
Some seasoned fries. Bro.
Food's good,
Anyways,
man.
there it is. There's the Dawning page.
I don't know. I stand by it. I don't like the swirly aesthetic of the whole thing. Look, the ship. Nothing about it that really rings my bell at all.
Yeah, same here.
So that would be a rating of Bah Humbug from the three of you, huh?
Is
Say
Aura
it.
listening to music on this podcast?
I'm just jamming.
He's
For the
just happy,
negativity,
that-
dude. I'm just jamming, man. I'm just glad people are being
Happy
critical. I'm so used to
with
being the
the
one who's
dumping.
critical. I'm just happy, man. Hell yeah, let's
Bah
go.
Humbug.
I think the only thing that I can say that the armor has going for it is the fact that the chest pieces and the armor, like the shoulders for like the Titans and stuff, it has this HR Geiger like vibe to it.
That's the producer of Alien or the artist behind
The
Alien.
artist
right?
behind it.
The artist, yeah.
It's gonna pop out and hug your face.
Oh no!
I'll say this: if you go to the Bungie page and you look at the page for the Dawning, and they have the snow globe with the ghost in it, or the Traveler with like if they sold that, I don't care how much it cost, I would buy it.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd buy
That'd
that
be
right
a
now.
thing.
Huh?
I think that's a thing that you can
Is
buy.
it? Show me a
Prove it.
link because I'll buy
Show
it.
me right now. Prove
Where's
it.
the store?
'Cause I
give
would
me a sec.
absolutely buy a ghost snow globe. That's kind of cool. Just shake it up.
Give me a second.
The store isn't updated yet. I don't think. I think it still has the.
No. I got you. Give me a sec.
Is it on the
Yeah, 'cause that's a
collectibles?
pretty cool looking. That's a pretty cool looking ghost shell.
Mhm.
I would definitely have that sitting back on the old video game, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Not bad at
Yeah.
all. But otherwise, yeah, it's not the most standout gear for the Dawning this time around.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll be happy. They showed off the sleigh that Dan hates from last year or the year before in the like trailer for the Dawning that they put out. If they reactivated that so it drops glimmer again, I will have considered this Dawning to be a success because
all right,
I
Fred
want,
Claus.
I want it back. Oh, absolutely. That's me.
Here, check the Discord here. TBL.
I refuse.
You posted a link to the same picture.
Yeah. Oh, the polar bear
No.
sparrow. Can we talk about the polar bear
the,
sparrow?
in the Discord chat?
Please
In the Discord chat, like minimize the thing.
I
Oh, yeah,
think
you're right.
I think Aura meant like in real life. I don't know.
Oh, and
We-
okay,
Yeah, like I want that ghost
Yeah.
shell on my bookshelf.
gotcha.
Yeah, right there. I want
Yeah.
that. I want the snow globe like right here.
Right. Yeah.
Because instead, because I'm all Christmassy.
That'd be cool.
I
Since
just
I'm all Christmassy, I have this instead. You know, I'm all
See,
kinds
yeah.
of. I got Clark Griswold and the family tree. Although the color, it's not a Ford Taurus from the '90s, but it's fine. You get the idea.
Beautiful.
yeah.
There's our
That could be
90s
like
pop
a-
reference.
It could be the Traveler in there with some snow going on, man. I'm just saying, Bungie, I'm gonna give you my money.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I would buy a real snow globe that was shaped like that. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Right here.
See, there's a black talon ornament in that image
Yeah.
too.
Still.
It took me the longest time to figure out that that's what that was.
It's weird. I thought it was a
had no
sparrow
idea.
first,
Same. And then
but
we got,
yeah, no, that's a black talon.
we got
Rita
Barrow
Repulsa in the
underneath it.
background going, "Make him grow!" And just I
Oh.
can't. It
like
doesn't.
she fresh out the dumpster.
Yeah.
I agree with you though, Dan. That bear sparrow is
That polar bear sparrow
it
is
exists.
interesting.
It
It's-
shouldn't, but it
It was.
Yeah,
I think
does.
it was created for one person in mind.
We
Yeah.
know. Ashen.
Oh no,
I was
polar
thinking
bear.
polar bear.
Oh well,
Yeah.
yeah, her too.
No, Ashen's favorite sparrow, and let it be known, Chad, is the fighting lion sparrow.
It's just thick enough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But that's the Dawning. It's
Yeah.
starting up this week.
It's a
I
thing.
wonder if it'll have a pinnacle reward tied to it, like Ava's previous event, the Festival of the Lost.
does it bring an activity?
No, it would just have to be, I guess, delivering a certain amount of goodies to different vendors.
Hmm. Yeah.
You got to do it now, Nim. You have no choice. You got to bake those cookies, boy. Bake them cookies.
The pinnacle is like the only. If there was a pinnacle attached to it, would be one of the only reasons for me to run this event.
Exactly. Yeah.
You mean the SMG,
I don't know. I don't
the cold front?
need it.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I can.
I don't need a recluse. Nobody needs it.
This is
Yeah,
gonna be
you
one
gotta
of those
reckless.
things. I can tell. It's just I'm gonna end up doing it just like Festival of the Lost. I'll run it the last week that it's here and be like, huh, okay.
I'm done.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the thing. Moving on
Mhm.
for sure.
I'll still be looking for Jade Rabbit's to eat rice cakes too. So
I got like 6 of those rice cakes in my inventory, and I still haven't delivered them to the little statues.
Man, you are really not about delivering food to people, are you?
you're not even a
No.
harbinger yet, dude.
No.
Bro.
Why am I gonna do time trial nightmare hunts.
Because you're a completionist? What do you mean?
Not if I ain't gonna get anything out of it, dude.
You're undying. What? I want to jump through the camera.
You have no argument.
I want to jump through the camera. You grind it out.
Look, I got Reckoner. Because that was literally a season of Gambit.
There's no justifying this. You can spell off whatever excuse you want to spell off right now. If you have Undying and Reckoner, you've lost the argument. It's Harbinger's a million times easier. What are you talking about?
How is it easier?
What do you mean? Reckoner?
What do you mean?
Reckoner was the most crazy mental grind that has ever existed. You'd think that Nightfall was bad. Doing the Gambit, I'm gonna vomit.
Nick's into
I'm gonna throw up.
He's real.
I'm actually gonna throw up. You're making me physically ill.
I'm gonna look at the Harbinger seal. Hold on.
Can you be a completionist anymore? Like an absolute completionist anymore?
I'm still trying to swallow this.
To answer your question, Dan, not if you value your health.
Yeah. Like I know there are members out there who go for like, I think you can be a completionist in certain aspects of the game, but I don't think you can be a completionist anymore in all of Destiny.
I'm not about to do time trial master nightmare hunt.
Right.
I'm not about to do a flawless master nightmare hunt.
Ooh.
That's
easy.
No, I don't give a shit. Aren't they like 980?
It's going to take you less time than grinding out a set of Gambit Prime armor. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but this is like, look, it's a 980 activity, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's master.
Right.
Yeah, one of those.
So at the end of the season, when you're 978,
I didn't even get to like 975 last season.
You can still do it. It's not like you don't know how to use a weapon.
I mean, I know, but I'm not.
I hear excuses.
I don't wanna.
putting yourself through that. I'd rather just do mind numbing, which is what I did with Undying, because it was easy. That was easy.
There's nothing about that was easy.
I'm not doing something like Reckoning again.
Yeah, please don't. That hurt me. I didn't even do it.
Tough, dude.
I don't even have the thing ranked all the way up in my Titan. Like I never.
No one does.
No, I only did my Warlock, and then that was.
I still have all the armor I'm missing on those characters to go and grind if I really want to be a completionist. Like,
look, as much as I love Gambit, Season of the Drifter by far had the worst investment system that Destiny has seen. By far.
That was bad.
It was not fun. I didn't find it to be particularly good. Splitting up the same armor set into 3 different tiers on a weekly lockout basis.
Oh boy.
And then followed by the RNG of Reckoning that it took me 119 runs to get the 1 grenade launcher. That was the last thing that I needed. No, and the counterintuitive emblem? No. You know what?
And you still have the title. You still have the title. You still have it. So you don't give me any bullshit about Harbinger. Because you just justified it to yourself.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Well, there we go. I think that's enough talk about Season of Dawn and the dawning and titles and all that nonsense. Yeah. What do you say we move on to some audience questions before we get out of here?
That sounds good. Can we say congratulations to the community team for their win at the Game Awards?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
First and foremost, before we get into that.
Yeah, wonderful job. They won at the Game Awards. Destiny won the what was it? The best community award.
Yeah, it's the first time that's been offered, I think, at the Game Awards as well. So beat out Final Fantasy 14.
TBL, I want you to tell me how you really feel about that, because you had an interesting Twitter post. So go on.
Congratulations, Deej and Dylan and Cosmo. You guys really earned it. That's how I feel. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to lean off the camera. I got to cough something out. Final Fantasy 14 should have won. There we go. We're good.
All right.
Everything's fine. It's good.
Okay.
Congratulations for the award.
Are you okay?
No,
there,
I mean,
bud?
I'm happy Destiny won. I mean, because we do have an amazing community, and this community has done absolutely unbelievable things. We talk about it basically every time. Every time the community is tasked with something like a charity, it's always blown out of the water. This community has some of the friendliest streamers, some of the friendliest people who go in for whether it was trials carries back in the day, raid carries now. Shoot, Red Queen is someone I absolutely love because she carried me through my first Garden of Salvation, and she does that all the time. We do have an incredible community here in the world of Destiny. So I don't want to belittle the win there, the inaugural offering of the Community Award at the Game Awards. Congratulations, Bungie and Destiny. It's definitely well worth it. There's no but. It's just Final Fantasy 14 is better. But that's it. No, it's a fantastic job. They deserve it.
Oh,
Don't worry. Yoshi P will have his revenge. It'll happen.
Oh man.
Getting into the questions. Mills asks, question for later, with the addition of a whole new suite of weapons, armor, and return of year 1 stuff, how's that vault looking?
Wait, what was the question? I blanked out.
How's your vault looking? Do you have a
How's my vault looking? I think I'm sitting at 250 out of 500.
Yeah.
And that's largely due to like just weapons that I've been keeping.
Mm-hmm.
328 out of 500. I actually did a lot of house cleaning this week. And I still have things in there I'm never going to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a good chunk of like the armor, what I'm looking here in dim, is previous Iron Banner armor. That's like I just have it because it's non-obtainable.
Yep.
Anymore. So, other than that, it's Iron Banner armor and like the other weapons that I just kind of keep there.
Yeah.
I kept my Gambit Prime armor sets
I deleted all of them
in case I want to go back and play Gambit Prime and actually be a contributor. I kept that stuff in the bank. That's about it.
Don't step into Gambit Prime at all anymore. So
Yeah.
I deleted them. Yeah.
We didn't talk about this at all, but have you guys used Wishender at all?
Oh, I have. And
yes.
What?
So Nim, I just want to talk about bows and Gambit. So I don't know how many of you know this, but Wishender has this funny little bug, would you say, where it does like 4 times damage on the exit?
Working as intended.
Working as intended. I hope they don't fix it, because that means that I am contributing to my team as a bow user, and I used it all day. I'm gonna get my hush this week because of this thing.
If you haven't gotten hush, this is probably the only time.
This is the time to do it. Yeah,
go get it because
it's so
inevitably
much
when they
damage.
fix Wishender,
they're never gonna fix it,
and I'm justified again.
Just keep it and move it into the heavy slot.
I mean, it's supposed to be a big heavy bow anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. This is how like that gun should always work. And only because I feel like I'm obligated to answer the same question that Aura and Nim did. Don't judge me. Listen. People play the game differently, man. Don't be judging. It's okay. 499 out of 500. 499 out of 500 slots in my vault. Don't you shake your head at me, Aura. Don't you judge me.
I've never gotten
Explain yourself.
Is that one spot so that you can actually move one item around at a time?
It's one slot so I can swap things between different characters.
Okay.
Literally,
I don't know how it got this bad.
Okay.
I don't know how it got this bad.
So I'm going to tell you about this third-party program called Destiny Item Manager, in which you can search for all your gear that is under a certain level and remove it directly.
I
out of the
know.
vault.
I am aware. I will not.
Okay. Do you use farming mode a lot?
Yes.
Okay. I can see that. I've been using farming mode lately. I'm about halfway through my vault as well. but I delete stuff. A lot of stuff.
I feel like this is an episode of Destiny Hoarders, which, by the way, History of the Planet Destiny podcast, we had an episode of that when Bones was back on the show, and we had this exact same conversation. I don't know if you remember that, Nim. This was a thing we talked about back then.
I don't remember.
Yeah, being real, I just haven't gone through and deleted anything. And anytime like my inventory gets full, it's like, why is this in my inventory? Send it to the vault. I just need to go through and shard a bunch of stuff from the season of the Undying. But yeah, it's gotten pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that clip.
So Amaze asks, what's your guys' take on the PvP focus? What do you think they're going to do for PvP aspects?
What PvP focus?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I want to believe in the conspiracy theory of them working on trials. I do, you know.
Yeah.
They did fly a bunch of the old trials heads out recently. There's been talk about that, but we can only talk about things we have solid information on, and the solid information says nothing. There's nothing going on right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's solid speculation though. Like, why would you bring Crafty and Buttwipe,
right,
and Dr. Lupo, three of
like literally all of the previous renowned.
Like,
I mean, it's inevitable. We know it's coming.
Yeah,
probably.
We know it's coming. Like, there's no way they're not going to bring trials in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of scared of it coming back, to be completely real.
Right?
Yeah.
It comes back and it's awful. Again.
Well, the thing is, it's just that like people are like they look back with like rose tinted glasses when they think of trials, but they completely just forget about the fact that it
was trash in year 2.
A competitive.
It was trash in year 2.
Well, I'm not even just talking about like the when it came out, but like short or smaller fire team focused Crucible matches highlight a lot of the crazy shit that Destiny can do. So like the supernovas, you know, the one hit shoulder charges. Like, I feel like if Trials comes back, then like people will get excited for like a month, and then we're gonna start hearing the cries for nerfs, for this, for that, and we're probably gonna have the similar situation that we did in Destiny 1.
We have those cries regardless, though.
Yeah,
but those cries exist anyway.
It's going to be accentuated even more because people are. This is a game mode that people have been clamoring for like the past 2 years, and it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna highlight that, and I honestly don't think like even if like I get it, PvP players want an end game activity, but I feel like with how powerful our sandbox is right now, they get that, then they're not going to like the way the game plays because it's not competitive enough.
There's a couple things about Crucible as it stands right now. They made a lot of changes with the artifact. I think this will lead into some other questions later. They made some changes with the artifact. Now Arc Battery's not here anymore. Yeah. Thundercoil is not here anymore. I have yet to really run into a lot of cheesy, crazy things in Crucible, and I played a fair amount of it this weekend. Granted, a lot of people are trying to get the Obelisk for the Komodo done. But I didn't, you know, a lot of the new subclasses were in play. The new Dawnblade changes were in play. The new Golden Gun changes were in play. So I think Bungie's sandbox has been a bit more refreshing because it feels like there's at least more skill related in the changes that were made to the subclasses versus some of the you can make a case for it being non-skill related, with Shadestep being virtually unkillable in your Shadestep, and Thundercoil making a Titan just that much crazier to fight against. We haven't seen any of that. I don't even know. Like, looking at
was much more annoying on a hunter than.
Right. But most people relate Thundercoil to Bottom Tree Striker, which was
Arc
crazy.
Battery, my bad.
Right. Arc batteries for yeah. So I don't know. Like, I feel like they made very subtle changes that have made a very positive impact for this season as Crucible stands right now. And the thought process of Trials coming down the pipeline, who knows what changes they're going to make to the sandbox by the time that actually comes into play. Maybe Handheld Supernova isn't going to be an instant charge and your face one-shot kill by the time Trials makes its appearance. Maybe it's going to actually involve some form of a charge rate similar to a fusion rifle, an 860 or 900 charge rate fusion rifle.
Charge rate.
Dude, it's instant. It has a charge rate, but it is not significant for Handheld Supernova anyway. Like,
I mean, it's on par with the uptime that it takes to get a shoulder charge.
I feel like it's shorter than that in engagements I'm playing against people. Plus, you don't have to be moving for it to do it. So, like, you could hide behind a corner.
Well, you can hold it. That's why it feels instant, because people that know how to use it properly, they're already holding it.
No, the instances that I'm speaking about specifically is somebody literally charging it and throwing it in my face in front of me, and not somebody holding it and running around a corner and throwing it at me. I'm talking about like while I'm engaged in that combat, regardless of the fact. That's going to be something people are going to complain about in Trials. That's going to be something that's going to draw blood. So we don't know what changes they're going to make to the sandbox by the time those Trials does make its rounds. There's a lot of time for them to make subtle adjustments here and there. I mean, there's loads of cheesy things that people can do regardless of the fact of whatever they change in terms of abilities, because you can still run around with a bow and a hand cannon and body shot somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, there's still going to be boatloads of cheesy, nonsensical things that are going to occur in this game. And the fact I saw somebody on Twitter talking about the entertainment value that Trials brought. And they specifically said that Trials brought something for people to watch on Twitch that isn't available right now. And I feel like if you look at the directory, that you see comp dominating the playing field. You see comp everywhere. Comp help. So like, no, I'm sorry, but no, that entertainment value has been there. It's just changed gears, and I don't think that's going to change. That it's going to either be comp or it's going to be Trials once it comes around. And I almost wonder if comp's going to go away when Trials makes its return.
Yeah.
But everyone's clamoring for a PvP seal, and I'll be damned if Trials doesn't give you the perfect one to get.
They would have to give. Do you think that they'd have to give some way for you to get the previous weapons if comp were to go away? Like, would they be tied to Trials? You think?
No, they would tie it to quick play. They've worked towards diluting that kind of stuff. If anything, for stuff like Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, they would just give it the Redrix scenario.
Yeah, the Redrix treatment.
Okay.
Give it a quest that's super long.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think would happen.
I don't want to say I don't want Trials to come back. But I think Nem had a great point. I don't think it's ever going to be what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, I don't think so either. And don't get me wrong, I can sympathize with the people that just play PvP, that they want their own end game activity and their own armor set, because that's one of the only reasons why they probably log in, is just to play that. But I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how the sandbox will be when that comes out. And we also have to pray and hope that somehow either Steam or Bungie figures out a way to like reduce the amount of people cheating, because I can only imagine being round 7 of a Trials card and then just having those instant teleporting shotgun.
Well, aren't those players tied to like New Light? So if you made Trials paid content, wouldn't that weed out the majority of it?
I don't know.
I feel like those teleporters you see in comp are free-to-play players making an account tomorrow. They get banned. Okay, I'm just going to make another account. I feel like if you make Trials of Osiris paid content, you're going to weed out the majority of that type of cheater. I think you're still going to be dealing with things like aimbot.
Yeah.
That's going to still be something you'll run into. But I think the teleporting hacker players are going to be will be put by the wayside by the fact they'd have to pay for it. In which case you're much more at risk. It wouldn't surprise me if some of the players doing this stuff are members of our community who are playing on an alt account just to have fun and be silly.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think that if it was paid content, which it should be paid content, then that's going to weed out the majority of it. I think.
I think a lot of people can find $10 though.
Yeah. That's true. But
am I going to pay $10 to cheat and get banned for it? That's true.
That's on you.
I thought Bungie was pretty fast in reacting to these things. I thought that we had seen swifter action since Activision had parted ways with. My question would be: are people going about it the right way? Are they adding Deej on Twitter, being like,
Yeah.
like, are you doing that? Or are you going to the
forums?
Bungie forums and the section that's specifically related to it and showing them the evidence there? Because that's what you're supposed to do. There's a way to go about reporting these things in the proper way, other than bitching and adding somebody on a, you know what I mean? Like
on Twitter,
social media platform.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the system work though, you know.
Yeah. And again, and you don't see this particular type of like activity like in a public match, like on a quick play. You primarily see this stuff happening in like high-end comp. So I can only imagine how frustrating it's going to be if you're on that 7th round and then boom.
No different than people who just knock people off. I mean, we dealt with DDoS in D1.
Yeah.
You know,
all the time.
We dealt with Hawkmoon on Twitter saying I'm the one who's kicking everybody and not getting banned.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like literally made a social media account around the fact that he's DDoSing everybody and didn't have any discipline. So like, I don't think it'd be any different than that, which would also be another one of the things you'd run into. I think you're going to see a lot more DDoSing and
right. And again, that's one of the worries. Sure, like this mode can come back, but like having these issues is still pretty prevalent.
It's much worse once they move to Steam. It's 100% worse.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So we have, this one's specifically aimed at Aura. Why were the Charged with Light Dawn mods underwhelming to you?
I haven't used them yet, but if we're comparing apples to apples with the mod system from last season to this season, sight unseen, I'm not seeing them being as beneficial. Like, I mean, how clutch was Oppressive Darkness for, especially as a weaker character when the season had just started, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not seeing a lot of these things where I'm believing that they're going to be super impactful, especially with the hoops you have to jump through in order to get the charge of light going, then to stack your being charged of light plus to dissipate and use it. There's, and I've only read through a handful of them, but like some of the benefactors of last season were as just simple as throwing a grenade.
Yeah.
So a part of me thinks that it's a blessing, honestly, because a lot of what the artifact offered last season changed the great game on all aspects dramatically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like dramatically changed the way that the game played. So maybe this season they're kind of pulling the reins back a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting new system. But
has anybody in here used any of the new mods yet? I mean, we're just getting them too. How many people have even?
I don't even have one
or two of them.
Right. So
I barely use them.
We'll see more about that maybe next week, the week after, as we start to really progress.
Yeah, a couple months probably.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure.
Yeah. The final question comes from Dr. Jones. Do you guys think that hybrid armor 1.0 and 2.0 builds are worth it?
In PvE, no. In PvP, yes.
I think I actually run a hybrid.
You did. You talked about it. Pump action.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a hybrid.
Yeah, for PvP and Gambit for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I run Light Reactor hybrid, and now that I can stack 3 Light Reactor mods on one build, you thought I was obnoxious before.
Yeah, the reason why is because like you guys are pointing out, certain mods, certain perks were only available on certain bits of gear in year 1. Like if you need those Light Reactor boots or whatever it is, and that you can stack it in with double stacking mods like that. Light Reactor is a super building mod. You're somebody like Aura or Nim who uses fusions all the time. That's going to be pretty helpful in PvP. Same thing with pump action for shotguns.
I haven't touched the fusion rifle in like 3 weeks.
Only 3 weeks.
That's why he came into this stream with that hood on. People might know who he was.
He's been playing. Yeah. He's been playing the Star Wars game. That's why.
This is true.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Literally, game of the year.
Yeah, 1.0 and 2.0 hybrid builds for Crucible. Take a look at your year 1 armor, see what you have that's going to benefit you. Plus, you can also put scavenger perks on different places. Scavenger perks are on gauntlets in year 1. They are on boots in year 2. So depending on what element affinity you have, you could run double scavenger. You can even run, I guess, triple. You can even do a triple of that, because if you have gauntlets and you double stack scavenger on your boots, now you're getting even more special ammo. So that's really where it would come in handy the most. I believe you are going to have a bit of trade-off in your ability cooldowns, but most times, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, is it really going to come into play that often?
Yeah. I see Dr. Jones following it up in the chat saying it's going to come at the cost of your stats a bit, though. But the trade-off there is more than worthwhile. If you're losing a bit of intellect, but you're getting, extra light reactor or extra pump action, you're making that up as you're getting kills. And I think we talked a bit earlier in the stream about the linear fusion cheese, stacking those. I think that's how you stack them. I think you use like some old armor with extra linear fusion or fusion rifle perks to stack that kind of stuff up. So yeah, some of the benefits definitely outweigh the loss of stats, in my opinion. And like, again, in PvP and like Gambit, where things are a bit more equalized, definitely.
In PvE, there's almost no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make an argument for the same exact argument for it, but I rarely pay attention to stat builds for PvE. I'm looking at armor mods and whatnot. I'm swapping out my grenade launcher reserves or machine gun reserves or shotgun reserves, depending on what I'm actually working on.
So yeah, there's definite value in mixing and matching armor 1.0 and 2.0 gear. Absolutely.
I deleted all my year 1 gear.
Rest in peace.
I deleted the majority of it, but I made sure that I kept things that had light reactor on them.
Same.
For specific reasons, just like this.
Yeah. Get some of that pump action light reactor gear. It's still viable in today's world.
I can see them bringing it back as a mod. Honestly.
Yeah, I would take
lines. It's especially with each season kind of getting their own mod pool. I can see them bringing it back as a mod, and I just
like a seasonal mod that you can slot on a helmet to put to dual stack light reactor,
enhanced light reactor,
something like that. I mean,
that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
And enhanced unflinching on fusions would be nice, because it doesn't have it.
Yeah, I just the more that I think about my grind in Destiny 2, it's more like I'll get it eventually. It's something will pop up. Nothing that dies really stays dead that long in this game. So,
I mean, how much attention do you actually pay to stuff like that, though, Dan? Like, I mean, I like to think that I'm not like ultra competitive, but competitive enough in Crucible that like I do want to take a look at certain things like that. And I feel like I gotta play Crucible, play a couple of games. I'll go play Gambit a couple of games. It's like whatever.
I do, but I lately I have been trying to be like better about it. It's not like I just dive in and with like whatever I have on in most cases anymore. I do kind of take a look at it. But I don't know. It just for mods and certain things for collections, it's like it'll come back around. I'm not too worried.
You'll see it again.
So, yeah, that was, I believe, the final question.
Right. So is that it? Well,
I have a question for you guys before we go.
Okay.
So with season, I mean, obviously we're still just one week into of Season of Dawn. Would you guys say that already in week 1 we have seen more than what we saw with Season of the Undying?
Oh, we're separating seasons, right? So we're not including Shadowkeep.
Not including
correct.
Shadowkeep. Yeah,
correct. Excluding Shadowkeep, so strictly Season of
Absolutely.
I mean, considering like the content for Season of the Undying, which is the Vex Offensive, we didn't even get until like a couple weeks into Shadowkeep, right?
Yeah.
And we have like a week or two before we got that.
Yeah.
Because Vex Offensive wasn't available from the first day.
It was the Saturday of, I want to say, because that's when the raid went live.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, that's it. It was after the raid went live. So yeah.
Because realistically speaking, we got the Vex Offensive, the 3 weapons from Vex Offensive, the armor set, and the season rank stuff with Ariana's Vow, Leviathan's Breath, and that's it. Am I blanking out on anything here?
Ariana's Vow, Leviathan's Breath. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, Xenophage, I guess, technically.
Oh, right. No, isn't that?
That's
Shadowkeep.
Shadowkeep?
That's Pit of Heresy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Shadow. I personally feel like with week 1 of Season of Dawn, there's been more, if that makes any sense.
Well, there's been story.
There's been story, yeah.
An actual story.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
By default, there's more content.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so far, yes.
There's more weapons. There's 4 weapons right at the get-go, plus your 3 rituals.
That seemed worth it.
We got an exotic.
Right.
I mean, I got an exotic, but I got the new boots for the hunter instead of a weapon like right away.
Oh my god.
We ended up getting the scout rifle.
We didn't get a chance to talk about that. Yeah.
We got the scout rifle almost right away too, right? So just like Ariana's Vow, we got I forget the name of the scout rifle, the exotic scout rifle. We got that too.
Symmetry.
I mean, I think Season of Dawn is actually be better than Season of Undying, but I think it's because I hated Vex Offensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you going to how are you going to feel about this toward the end of the season?
I mean, I was done with Vex Offensive the first time I ran it.
Yeah.
The very first time I did Vex Offensive, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And like the first time I ran the Sundial, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like I want to put on a couple different builds and go in here. And so like I put on my combination below Last Man, Liar's Handshake, Punchy Hunter, and went in there and started punching everything, which was a whole lot of fun. It's always a whole lot of fun. So like it made me want to start doing other subclasses and other characters and whatnot. I actually have a desire to go in and try different things. I'm not out there sweating my watts off to try and get through like I would Menagerie either. Like I'm able to just kind of put it on cruise control. And even with Vex Offensive, it was just kind of like, and I love fighting the Vex, just blah. Like this doesn't have as much blahness to it, in my opinion.
It's fun. It's good stuff. So yeah, I think there's a decent amount of content there. Same thing. Yeah. $10. I got my new exotic warlock boots, also known as what are those?
So what do they do? What do they do?
So when you're in Dawnblade, when you've popped your super, anything that you kill drops a rift, an empowering / healing rift. It gives you both benefits.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But they look funky.
Yeah. I like the hunter pants. Yeah. I like the hunter pants.
Bombardiers, I think is what they're called, right?
Dropping bombs whenever you dodge is silly.
The sound is have you listened to the sound that bomb makes after you skip?
No.
Oh my god.
Is it the Metroid bomb sound you make when you go into the orb? Because if it isn't, then it needs
No. It just goes like it sounds like it spits up.
Like a bouncing Betty?
Yeah, like a bouncing Betty.
It's ridiculous.
That's pretty cool.
No, it needs to be the sound you made in Metroid.
Oh.
Agreed. I'll petition that.
These exotics are a good example of exotics feeling and looking exotic because the warlock ones, as don't get me wrong, they're neat with the effect, but those toes.
What are those?
Just I don't understand.
They're like the jogging shoes.
Look, nobody wanted that.
They're like the jogging shoes. Where every toe is just individually.
I'm super glad that like they have that cool effect. But like that's really neat. Like having that, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but as you gain super energy, they become engulfed with like fire.
They burst,
and like you get these wicked like fire claws, for like feet when you're super full.
You get the old Honolulu hot foot.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to see a doctor about that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping like Bungie kind of like embraces that crazy looking vibe for future exotics because they look really really.
Definitely some cool stuff this season.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All we got? That's it. Got through the news, got through the questions, got through our thoughts. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the end of yet another episode of the Planet Destiny podcast, episode 221, An Exo Stranger for Another Future. That's right, Dan. I read your titles. I appreciate them. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do, dog. I got you,
Hey,
man.
So you got to write what you know.
That's
And what I know
right from the
is
heart.
that I read that on a Reddit post this week and was like, you know what? That's about right. That's about right.
There we go. That's what we mean when we say we have a fantastic community. It's a community we can steal things from.
Yeah. Thank you, community.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Of course, before we get on out of here, we are going to let you know where you can find us all across the internet, starting with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Evil. Actually, no longer evil. Scratch that. Aura.
Nondescript Aura. You can
Nondescript
find me
Aura.
twitch.tv/Aura or on Twitter, twitter.com/evilaura, 3VIL_AURA. Back in Crucible, working on some of the stuff for Season of the Dawn, even though I'm not going to get the title. And working on some Harbinger stuff as well. Just kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that till I get tired of whatever I'm working on and can focus on something else.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. Right on. What are you playing in your non-Destiny time now?
I no lifed Red Dead Redemption 2 for about a week and a half. I took 2 weeks off of stream for my mental health and played Red Dead solo player campaign.
Right on.
Beat it. I'm on the epilogue now. I'm not in a rush to finish the epilogue because I don't particularly enjoy it. But the story itself was what I would expect from Rockstar and a Red Dead game.
Yeah.
But really, really, really fun game to play. Magnetic.
Stuff, man.
I'll call it magnetic.
Yeah. Great game. Great game. Nim, what's up, buddy?
There's only one place where you can find me nowadays, and that's twitter.com/nemplay. Recently for anybody who wants it. Recently updated the public folder for the screenshots with the Timeless Corridor screen cap. So if you want to use that for streaming or whatever wallpapers, they're there. There should be a good chunk of them that I took.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah. So if you want it, I'll drop the link here in the chat. And there you go.
Yeah, so you do awesome work with those screenshots. I've pilfered basically all of them, and I use them for different things all over the place. I like actually my my wallpaper on my desktop is the one you took from inside of the a Garden World strike.
Uh-huh.
The one where you're heading, where you're in the end and you're in the spire. That is a beautiful shot. It's now my wallpaper. So thanks for that, buddy.
Wait, which one? The one
That's-
in like the hallway, the pyramid hallway?
Not that one. Actually, the one where you're when you've shot into the spire and you're going up the stairs. It's like there's the water and the Vex are coming out of the portals and coming directly at you. I'll point it out to you after this, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Okay.
shot. Meanwhile, Dan, what's up, buddy?
Oh, hi. My name is Danfinity. You can find me on Twitch 4 days a week. Twitch.tv/Danfinity. That'll be more true probably after the beginning of the year. Because of all the craziness with work and the holidays. Lately, I'm just following my heart. Wherever I feel I need to be in Destiny is where I am that week. I'm working on I'm working on a lot of stuff for the start of next year. So there's going to be a lot of future planning right now. So if you want to come by and just chill out, come hang. That'll be cool.
Right on, man. I forgot to ask Nim, but to you, what game are you playing when you're not doing Destiny?
Nim, go
I
ahead.
recently beat
Same time.
what?
Just go ahead, go.
I recently beat Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep.
And now I don't know what to do with it.
Go beat Safi Jiva. Stop
Yeah.
wasting time.
Oh my god, yeah. But it's on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh
Sucks.
man, I've
you,
been
Dan?
playing Borderlands 3. I finally got my
Ooh.
Zane up to level 50. I think I'm gonna get my I think I'm gonna get Amara up to level 52. I've just been playing that campaign over and over again, so it's
Mhm.
I'm getting some burnout from that too. So I don't know.
I'm
There's
not I haven't even beaten it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's interesting.
I don't know. I couldn't. It didn't grip me like Borderlands 2 did.
No, I understand that completely.
The community's rallied behind it. Like the Borderlands 2 community is fully embraced and kind of no-lives it the way that they did Borderlands.
The gameplay feels great.
Yeah, the gameplay feels great. I'm not a huge fan of the antagonists overall.
No one is.
And
they did Maya dirty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dirty.
There's a lot of things in it that I have qualms with, but at the same time, Zane is just a really fun character.
Very fun character.
And if you build him out right, you can zip around and you're causing all sorts of havoc. I use a clone drone build, so the drone goes out and weakens everybody and shocks them while I'm zipping around. I think my speed on my artifact for Zane is at like, for both of the top speed skills, it's like at 7 right now, something along those lines. So I'm just zipping around. It's pretty fun.
Right on. It's good stuff. I enjoyed Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
The story wasn't the best. The villains were definitely not as gripping as some previous ones, but I enjoyed the gameplay.
The weapons are fun. The weapons are definitely fun.
Yeah, weapons are super fun.
Yeah.
I need to just go. Oh,
my dog.
Ooh, I have this waiting in the wind for me.
Oh yeah.
Which is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for those who can't see what I just held up to the camera. So this is waiting. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch is a phenomenal game if you like JRPGs.
Yes.
It's one of the best games I may have ever played. I actually don't want to beat it because I'm so in love with it. I'm at that boss and I don't want the story to end. So that's where I'm. The Switch is it's such an incredible.
It's a great console.
Such an incredible console.
Yeah,
does everything right.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic little console, and you can take it everywhere. It's great. Love it.
Christmas is coming, y'all. If you don't have one, ask for it. Significant other, family, friends, whatever.
Get a Switch.
Get a Switch. Hashtag not an ad.
Hashtag it's still an ad.
We'll take your money though. Like we can make that happen. But all right, of course, my name is the Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at the Black Link. This week, of course, we've got stuff covering the Dawning and Destiny stuff coming out. We'll be covering the new Sundial boss and all that kind of stuff. The usual news things. And free time for live streams, I have been unbelievably busy with work every day for the past couple of weeks. So if I get some free time, we'll do what we can. And if we do have a live stream, it'll absolutely be some Monster Hunter World Iceborne. The Safi Jiva fight just dropped on Friday. I have been grinding it all weekend. I'm having a ton of fun with that siege, and I will be playing it until Iceborne drops in January on the true platform of choice, PC, where I will then be starting the grind all over again.
Hey, TPL.
What's up, buddy?
How's Anthem?
So this has been episode 221 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Nim will never, ever be seen again on this show, but we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas, TBL. Merry Christmas.